Hey guys, T2 Titan Preparedness. Welcome to the channel, or welcome back. This is the NiteCore NU25, and for the longest time it was the primary headlamp in both my bug out bag and my get home bag. It is a small, very lightweight headlamp and produces up to 360 lumens while also providing an area light and a red light. But now NiteCore has updated the NU25. Is it still just as good? Is it still going to be the go-to headlamp for hikers and backpackers? What changes have they made? What features have they updated? And is it still worth the money? To start things off, let's talk about some things you might not be able to tell on camera. Maybe you can. The new NU25 is just slightly thicker than the old NU25. Roughly the same face size, just slightly thicker. The new NU25 was given a well-needed update, a well-needed facelift in my opinion. The old NU25 had a maximum output of 360 lumens on the spotlight only. The new has a combination of 400 lumens spot and area combined. The old had a 610 milliamp hour battery, the new has a 640 milliamp hour battery. The old headlamp was a little bit lighter than the new one. I will put the numbers on the screen because I'm not going to remember them. Now, one of the biggest changes as far as non-functioning features go is the strap. The old NiteCore NU25 had the head strap, but most hikers and backpackers would take the strap off and put something called shock cord around it. This is the new NU25 UL, standing for ultra light. You see, NiteCore went ahead and put the shock cord on it for you. So you didn't have to, and because they noticed that everyone was doing it anyway. Now there is another version of the NU25, and that one has half band, half shock cord. You cannot get one with a full headband. You either get the full shock cord or the half and half. I will put lumens on the screen for both of these because I sure don't remember them. But the old one, you had low, you had a medium, and you had high. You held it down and you had a turbo. This was your 360 maximum lumen output. NiteCore NU25 original, low, medium, high, turbo. A quick way to get to the maximum setting was turn the headlamp on and then hold it down. That went from whatever setting you were on to the max setting. If you held down the power button, you got the auxiliary light, and you only had one setting on the auxiliary light. Then you had the red light. You had two settings for the red light and then a flashing red. You also had beacon mode and SOS. If you wanted this headlamp to turn off, you would wait 4 seconds and then it would instantly shut off, or you could cycle through the settings and then it would shut off. If you held both buttons down, it would lock it out, but there was no indicator that it was locked out. And if you went to hit it, turn it back on, there was no indicator that you were in the lockout mode other than this tiny little red button that was up here at the top that would flash. To unlock it, obviously you would hold both of them down. One big problem that I had when using the old NU25 was the button size. The buttons only take up about 50% of the top of the headlamp. Now each button, there's 2 buttons, 25%, they are very small buttons. And you basically had to use the nail of your finger to hit the buttons. Now if you were wearing gloves, like winter weight gloves, good luck getting this headlamp turned on. So moving on to the new NU25, the first thing I will say is that the buttons are much larger. They take up about 75% of the headlamp. They are 2 different size buttons. One's a small square button and one's a circular button. So let's run through the settings on each one. With the old NU25, to check the battery indicator, you would hold down the R button and it would give you a flash indicator. It was 3 flashes. Those meant something in combination, like 3 flashes meant you were above 75, 2 were above 50, 1 was like below 10. It was weird. With the new one, if you press it 1 time, it gives you 4 blue lights, 25% indicators. Hold down the left side button, the little circle button. It will instantly go to red. Again, the left side button will control your lights, but not the intensity level. So we're on red. You hit the left side, the little circle button one more time, you get both spot and area lighting. You hit it again, you get one. You hit it again, you get the other. You hit it again, you go back to red.
Red. Both on low. Spot. Area.
So you get one setting per level, I guess you would say. And it's basically on the lowest setting. You hold it down, it shuts off. With the right side button, as I said, you control intensity. So holding down the right side button, we get both on. We get spot and area on medium, we get spot and area on high. This is your 400 lumens. Low, medium, high. Low, medium, high. Right? So I can't go to red mode in this button.
Spot and area low, medium, high.
But what I can do is I can hit the left side button and change. So let's run through the light settings. Red, you get red, and you get a flashing red. Left side button again, you get both on. You get medium, and you get high. Left side area again is your spotlight. You get this, you get medium. You get the low and medium. Left side button again, you get area. High, or high and then low. High and then low.
Spot medium, high. Area light low, medium.
So to lock out the new NU25 is the exact same way to lock out the old one. The difference is, if I press both buttons, 1, 2, 3, I will get 3 flashes. Now, that indicates that you are in lockout mode. Now, what happens if it gets hit? It flashes. Instead of there being a red little dot up here at top that just flashes, it actually flashes where you can see the light and, oh, wow, that was a quick flash. Oh, I must still be in lockout mode. Again, to unlock it, you hold both buttons down, and then the light will come on low, okay, letting you know that you are out of lockout mode. So SOS and beacon modes were both options on these headlamps, but you have to remember the combinations. Old one, had the light on, then you went to turbo, you kept holding it, and you got SOS. You clicked it one more time, and it went to beacon mode. So you had to have the light on, then turbo, then SOS, then click it one more time to get the beacon. Right? You have to remember that combination. With the new NU25, it is a little bit easier to get to SOS and beacon mode. You just need to remember that one button controls SOS, one button controls the beacon. So double tap the circle button that is on the left. 1, 2. You have SOS. If you tap the button that is on the right, you have beacon mode. So with the new NU25, you do have ultra low area mode. So it's not spot like on this one. This one has spot low, medium, and high, right? This one has area low. So if you double tap the right button, 1, 2, you get this, which is enough to see around you. Maybe you drop something, maybe you're looking in a bag, you don't want to outshine the world, it's there. Will I remember that combination? Probably not. Will I use this? Probably not, because red light, if you hold down, if you shut this one off, red light is so much easier to get to. Just hold down the left side button and red light instantly comes on. And that ultra low mode is also not available in the cycle rotations. As this one has low, medium, high for the spotlight, this ultra low mode is not available, right? So you've got your medium and your high. That ultra low mode that you can get to by double tapping the right side is not available in that cycle. So let's talk pros and cons. Price. It is the same $36 that you can pick up the old one for. It's not bad. It does weigh slightly more. Now if you are a gram weenie and you are worried about half a gram more or a few grams more, and you cut your toothbrush in half and you use single ply toilet paper, you know, maybe that's a big deal for you. For me, a prepper, it's not that big of a deal. It's still a super lightweight headlamp. The battery is much larger and it will run for a longer period of time. Okay, it's a good trade-off then. It is also USB-C instead of USB-A, which is a huge upgrade in today's market, right? One cord to rule them all. I do like the fact that the high point, the 400 lumens, is part of the cycle rotation. So you simply turn the right button on, you get spot and area. Then you just creep your way up. Now you have 400 lumens. If you don't need that much, turn it down. Again, spot and area together. With this one, you had to remember the combinations. You did have a high setting, but it was only for the spotlight. Then this was turbo. It was a pretty big difference between high and turbo. But you also had to remember that the light had to be on and you had to hold the button down. It wasn't necessarily part of the cycle rotation. Another pro that I like is the red light. I like using red light when I'm at camp, when I'm around other people. I don't need to blind them with the white light. It is still a direct button, so you hold down the left side button and you get red, just like on this one where it had a red button. The difference is you had a low red and a high red and a flashing red. Now on the new one, the red light is much more intense and much brighter than the old one. Some people are going to like that, some people are not going to like that. Another pro that I like about the new one as compared to the old one, I could see it being a problem, but that is what the lockout method is for, is the constant on or constant off. So this one, it comes on. Maybe it's jostling around in your bag, oh, it hits it, you're not in lockout mode. It's going to cycle through its operations, and then it's going to go off. Cool, because again, if it's jostling around in your bag, it keeps getting hit, it's not in lockout mode, it will eventually cycle off. This one, on the other hand, will not eventually cycle off. So you get red, you get white, you get more white, 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 red. Same thing with the other button, if you're hitting it. This, if it's jostling around in your bag, could be a good thing, because then eventually it's going to cut off, and then maybe by the time you see it, it's going to go through a couple cycles. This could be a con, because let's say it's on white light and it's jostling around in your bag and it keeps getting hit, and now you're on intense mode, it's never going to go off. So, could be a bad thing if it's in your bag. However, let's say you're walking on the trail. Let's say you're using your headlamp to walk on the trail at nighttime. With this one, okay, you're in medium mode. Well, you hit that button one too many times and it shuts off. Now you're in the pitch black and something's growling at you. At least with this one, you hit it, at least you still have light. It might not be intense light, but okay, it's still on. I can see that the bear is 5 foot in front of me. I can see the rattlesnake that's 2 foot in front of me. Personally, if I'm using a light, I want that light to stay on. Again, if there's something in front of you, I don't want that split second of darkness and then me having to fiddle around with the buttons again to figure out where they are and then turn it back on and then whatever's done ate me. I want light. I want the light to be on. I want the light to stay on. It is an upgrade. I do like the fact that it's got a new face. It is USB-C rechargeable. It does have a larger battery in it. I like larger batteries. If I'm going to carry a headlamp, I want it to be the largest that I want to carry without weighing down my head. The shock cord. Shock cord's a little different. It's a little weird. As a prepper, I am not used to shock cord on my head. Even untightened, it fits. It fits nice. If you get a large head, like a size 8 cap, it's not going to fit you. I have a smaller head, I suppose. It works. And me personally, when I'm at camp, I do like to wear my headlamp around my neck, and that way it's here when I need it. Or if I'm sleeping in my hammock, this does not feel like anything. It feels like, wearing one of those Jesus cross necklaces. It's there. I can feel that it's there. But it's not making any sweat on the back of my neck. It's not hanging down on my neck, right? It thing barely weighs anything at all. So it's pretty nice. If you used shock cord in the past, as far as your headlamps go, if you were the type of person to replace your headband with a shock cord attachment anyway, you're going to be used to shock cord. For preppers, it takes a little getting used to, but now it can fold up even smaller and fit in a pocket. Larger buttons. I do like the larger buttons. Again, it reminds me of the NU32, even bigger than their buttons. The button combinations, I'm good with it, right? It takes a little bit of getting used to, especially coming from the old one and then trying to compare them on the table and then but it's a whole lot easier to remember. You read the instruction manual one time, you play with this thing, as soon as you first get it, you'll be a pro at it in no time. Versus the old one where, like again, SOS beacon mode, you had to hit it once, make sure it was on, then turbo, then SOS, then quickly tap it again before it shuts off to get the beacon. This one, much easier button combinations. I like the fact that red is your primary on the left side button. I also like the fact that if you double tap, you instantly get SOS. Might not be important for all the time, but when you need it, you don't want to have to finagle through different button combinations or try to remember different button combinations to get there. Ultra low mode. Will I ever use it? Probably not. I'm probably going to forget it after I finish this review anyway, but it's there. And I also like the fact that it's not in that cycle. Because if I'm needing the light, I probably only want medium and high, which is all it offers in that cycle. Ultra low should be by itself. In case you need it, it's there, but in the cycle, you probably don't ever need ultra low mode. I do also like the fact that you get both spot and area at the same time. If you don't want that, well, just swap them, right? You want area, you want spot, you want red, and it gives you that option. A lot of headlamps, a lot of flashlights, you get one or the other. Just like the old NU25, you get spotlight or you get area lighting. You don't get the combination of both. There are some situations and some circumstances where maybe I want spotlight, maybe I just want floodlight. There are some instances and situations where I want both, and I want it to be as bright as I can in both distance and area. So overall, it is a fantastic headlamp. It is a great upgrade from the original. If you use the original and you're still using it and you love it and you're happy with it and you're happy with the little buttons that it has and the little quirks that it has and little combinations it has, sure, don't upgrade. But if you're like, you know what, NU25 is just not kicking in anymore. It's just not doing it for me anymore. This is a great upgrade. If you still want something small enough and lightweight enough that's not considered a work light. I would consider the 32, the 33 work lights. I would consider this a trail light. It's a great trail light. You get multiple hours on multiple different settings, USB rechargeable, which is the new thing nowadays. Again, I'm cool with it. I think it's a great upgrade, but I also think it's a great standalone headlamp. Again, it's like 36 bucks, which isn't bad for a decent headlamp. Sure, you can go buy a $5, $10 headlamp from Walmart that runs on batteries and is crap. Or you can get a decent headlamp for 36 bucks. Alright guys, let me know what you think. You considering upgrading or you consider purchasing it. What other NiteCore headlamps would y'all like me to check out? Again, I've already reviewed the 32, the old 25, and I've got the 33 on the way. So, that's all I got for today's video. Hope y'all have a great day. T2 out.